Okay, I decided to do a collective reading today, and so just take whatever resonates. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So, the general atmosphere is this Five of Wands with the Queen of Cups. It really makes me feel like you've had to fight your way to the person you are. And I feel like you have this really loving and deep soul, and you have so much to offer and contribute to the world. But it has been a hell of a struggle to get to this point of recognizing that. What crosses you is the Ace of Cups with the Devil. So it makes me think of, again, like fighting for every bit of self-worth that you have. It's coming across as like having to reparent yourself or to recondition yourself, perhaps. I feel like you had been controlled. Maybe some kind of addiction, something you really had to go through and overcome to find the level of self worth that you're at. Like I said, it's just been this massive battle between your ego and your soul. And so you've probably gone through a huge integration process. The foundation of the situation is Ace of Swords with the Empress. So already there's a lot of new beginnings coming out. Ace of Swords and the Empress is, again, it feels like the combination is about finding your self-worth, finding your value, about changing the narrative in your head, changing the narrative that you were taught, changing the way you speak to yourself, and recognizing this level of power within yourself. And I think really exploring your manifestation powers, learning about attracting the things you truly want, and probably in the process, even learning to define the things that you want. It's really about learning yourself and learning your own mind and learning how to put that into practice with the 3D matrix world around you. It's almost like learning to use your gifts to benefit yourself. The passing influence is the Hermit and the Eight of Cups. So it feels like you really had to prioritize your peace and you had to walk away from people who disrupted that, walk away from situations that disrupted that. I also feel like there's a part of yourself that you had to leave behind in order to fully integrate this new, more spiritually diverse self that you've become. That's an interesting way that that came out, spiritually diverse. It feels like you really had to go within and find yourself and like break away from the illusions that you had been taught of who you were or who you were supposed to be, and finding the person that feels more aligned with who you are naturally. What's on your mind is Eight of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. So again, this exactly is what makes me feel like learning to use your gifts to better yourself. And I guess I mean like learning new ways to invest in yourself, recognizing that energy is the real currency. So about being mindful about what you're cultivating, what you're paying attention to, what you're investing in, what you're making of yourself in your life, and using your gifts to prosper yourself, because I feel like you've probably always naturally been able to prosper situations, like, but you haven't maybe recognized that on a conscious level. Maybe you have this really great work ethic, but it's about learning to make your gifts work for yourself. And so instead of contributing and prospering everyone else around you to the almost neglect of yourself, it's about switching it and learning to truly invest in yourself. So I think that's self-care, but I think it's also a lot of knowing your worth and probably creating firm, healthy boundaries once you recognized your true value. It feels like this process that you've been through, like your whole life you've been evolving into the person you're becoming. And I guess that's pretty much life itself. That's what we all do. So, I mean, on some level, it feels like you're exactly on track. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Despite all the twists and turns and detours, you made it. You're here and you're amazing. Near future is the Strength with the Three of Wands. There is this fierceness about you. Like, I'm hearing spiritually unfuckwithable. But there's some kind of crossroads energy here. And I feel like you're going to need to make a choice, and it's going to require you to be strong. And I'm kind of hearing you have to say no to what you don't want so that you can say yes to what you do want. But I think part of the crossroads is figuring out which version of yourself you want to pursue. And I also think it's about believing in yourself, believing in your own abilities, whether that's spiritual abilities or physical abilities, communication abilities, whatever it is. Mental abilities, like it's just believing in yourself and knowing that no matter what you decide, it's going to be right. Because even if you decide something and you figure out partway through that it feels like a mistake, you're going to know how to divert or detour onto the right path. I think everything's going to come more naturally when you trust your intuition and trust yourself. So that, I guess that was a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you pick the wrong path. Well, you're going to figure it out, and you're going to figure out how to detour, because that's just what you do. But I also think you're in the process of learning to fully trust yourself and like stop gaslighting yourself about your abilities and achievements and really the worth and weight of the effort you put into things. But I also think it's about figuring out exactly what you want and being bold in making that choice and not making a choice based on what anybody else wants for you. The way you see the situation is the King of Wands with the Four of Wands. So it feels like there's some passionate, maybe some creative expression that is a part of who you are. It feels like embracing your purpose. But it also is like finding that stability within yourself, but celebrating your achievements, recognizing that maybe you're not who you want to be, but you're not at all who you used to be. And you are much, much closer to who you want to be than you are to who you used to be. But it's really like believing in your dreams, believing in your definition of happiness, And I think also with age comes so much wisdom. And so each passing day, each passing year, you're literally so much more embodied in yourself. And that self is basically what is evolving you as a soul. So it's being fully immersed and present in your own life and pursuing your own personal interests and happiness and defining that for yourself, not letting other people define that for you. Other people see the situation as 9 of Cups and 8 of Swords. That's kind of a mixed bag. It's two opposite energies. So maybe there's like definitively 2 types of people in your life. The people who can celebrate with you, who are genuinely happy for you, and then the people who are jealous AF. Because maybe they haven't learned to use their own internal manifestation powers the same way you have. Maybe they haven't learned how to use their own energy to work for themselves the way you're learning. It also kind of feels like there's someone that's in victim mode. So maybe someone around you is like playing the perpetual victim. And like, oh, you'll always get what you want. Everything comes so easy. That's how they see it, but they truly don't recognize the incredible amount of struggle and hell you've had to go through, the bondage you've had to break free from to learn to love yourself and accept yourself for who you are and use your own energy to benefit yourself. Like that has been a huge undertaking. So it's like an overnight success, 10 years in the making, 20, 30, 40 years in the making. The emotions of the situation is 3 of Wands again, and the Wise One, which is the Hierophant. So 3 of Wands again is this crossroads energy, but I feel like you're actually being directed by ancestors, by the spirit, your spirit team, and spirit guides. And I think it's really so much about trusting your intuition about whatever this crossroads energy / decision is. Knowing that you're guided, knowing that you're protected, but knowing that you have to trust your intuition because your only guidance, in essence, is a tiny sliver of light from the moon. And so it truly is about trusting yourself and not gaslighting yourself and believing in the things that you're experiencing as your unique gifts and talents unfold and learning to use those to benefit yourself. Final outcome is Ace of Pentacles and 5 of Wands. So I think it's extremely interesting that the last card I pull is literally also the first card. And so it's kind of like full circle. But it also gives me the feeling of something from the past coming back. I don't know if it's a past life. I don't know if it's something from childhood or from just earlier in your life, but there's something that's coming full circle. Some kind of opportunity is coming. And it could be a new job. It could be a dream job. It could be a new way of just investing in yourself and showing up in your life. But it feels very financially related because, again, that's part of learning to use your own energy to work for yourself, as energy is the real currency. So there's some kind of new opportunity, but it comes with some kind of struggle because I feel like it's your old self and your new self locked in battle, the way these birds are locked in battle. Like, which one is going to emerge victoriously? I feel personally like it will be the new self, because you have worked too damn hard to become who you are to just throw it away and not believe in yourself. And that's the whole point of this, is learning to believe in yourself. The overall energy is 6 of Cups with 8 of Swords under that. 6 of Cups is very karmic for me, but it's like innocence and, again, something from the past, nostalgic for something. Something from the past is showing up. But that 8 of Swords is the same as that. It's like fear, letting fear trap you inside of your mind, letting fear sabotage you. So it could be self-sabotage. Like, don't self-sabotage because you're like afraid on some level that, and that's part of being strong, is knowing that you have everything it takes to be successful. Whether it's a new career, a new relationship, a new cycle in your life, whatever it is, it's knowing that you've done the work and you've absolutely got this. The other overall is Ace of Pentacles with Queen of Wands under that. So it's interesting that the Ace of Pentacles came out again. We have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, the King of Wands even. Oh, okay. This could be a new relationship. This is like, if it is, it's the one you've been healing for, and it's going to scare the shit out of you. But again, it feels very guided. That card looks similar. Very guided by the ancestors. Very guided by your spirit team. Divinely directed. Ace of Pentacles is that new opportunity. It could literally be your dream job. It could be some kind of incoming soulmate. Some kind of incoming dream come true. But this dream come true is actually going to scare you, because it's going to force you to move out of your comfort zone. Because there's a thing when you're healing inside of your comfort zone. Like when you're healing, you're creating a comfort zone for yourself. But once you get to a certain level, you have to escape that comfort zone to be able to integrate that healing within your relationships on a deeper level. And that's what's happening here. Okay, so from the Oracle cards, I got Celebrate and Etheric Body. I just realized I don't think I want to list all the decks I use, so I'm just going to say them. This one is the Lunar Eclipse Tarot, and then Tarot of the Abyss is this black and white one. And then this is the Wandering Soul Oracle. Celebrate says, this is your reminder to celebrate your victories and achievements, no matter the size nor the significance. It is important to pause, reflect, and reward your hard work, as it helps to remind you of how worthwhile that your time and effort truly is. Celebrating yourself puts out valuable high vibrational energy into the space that surrounds you. This has a positive influencing effect not only on yourself, but for those within your space of influence also. Taking a step back and reflecting upon your success and all you have achieved is a way of appreciating what you have done and taking pride in your deeds. You are deserving of celebration, and you are worthy of being celebrated. Allow your loved ones and those in your tribe to embrace your success with you instead of brushing it off like you normally do. Milestones, no matter how big or how small, are still markers in time that you've reached with your own determination and sheer willpower. When we choose to bypass celebrating what we have achieved, we deny ourselves the chance to honor who we are and what we have completed. That's so fitting for this especially, because it's about not disempowering yourself, not undervaluing yourself, and truly celebrating the things that you've accomplished in your life and the milestones. Because in some effect, just becoming yourself has been the hugest milestone of all. Like, you had the deck stacked against you from the beginning, but you overcame all of that bullshit, all of that false narratives about who you are or what you deserve or what you're capable of. You're completely rewriting that. Don't undervalue that. That's the hardest work that can be done, probably. Etheric Body says your aura is the layers of glowing energy that envelops your physical being. It is an intrinsic part of you, and just like any other part, it requires attention to be cared for and to be loved. Every single day we encounter other beings, sentient or not, that cast off their own energies that can leave a layer of dust, which coats our own etheric body. The damage this can cause your auric field and its subtle layers depends greatly on the type and the amount of this low vibrational dust that can accumulate and settle on your aura. It also depends on your ability to provide protection for your spirit. This dust can cause a dulling of your aura's colors and a lowering of your own frequency. That muddied energy you're feeling, that tiredness in your soul, that is your aura telling you it needs your attention. The subtle layers which make up your spirit require cleaning and cleansing. You clean the home you live in, so it only makes sense that you clean the space your spirit lives in. This dust needs to be washed away and your aura given an infusion of cosmic vitality. Your aura is the light by which the universe and all its beings identify you. Ensure your vibrational signature is strong, healthy, and glowing. And that is essentially why boundaries are so important, because it's about protecting your energy, protecting the safe space that you have created around yourself. You have become who you needed as a child. That's why you're a safe space for so many people. But it's also about recognizing that it's unnecessary to take on everybody else's energetic dust. That's not for you to carry. And it's also about recognizing what type of energy deserves to be around you. For the Archangel Metatron deck, I got Cosmos, Mirrors You, and Inner Child Hear and Know Me, number 20 and number 36. What you feel as random, chaotic, and disjointed in your world is the result of your scattered thoughts, words, and feelings that you have sent out into the greater universe, either consciously or unconsciously. No one sets out to ask for problems or difficulty, and yet what we think, speak, and project is so powerful right now. You are reminded today of how powerful your words are. The sacred geometric shape of the dodecahedron, perfectly balanced and proportioned, symbolizes the need for reasoned, wise, and well-intentioned words and thoughts that are also focused. You're in a state of regular communication with the universe. It listens and responds to what you emit and sound out constantly. If you have been projecting that life is hard, unfair, and difficult, the universe will give you more of the same. If, on the other hand, you speak of abundance, laughter, and wonder, that too will be made manifest. Think carefully about the programming that is inside you. Does it serve you well today? Or is it full of past disappointments or hurts, creating an expectation of a repeat performance? Changing scripts within you, starting to become conscious through affirmations and positivity, and surrounding yourself with high vibrations are important to you right now. The universe wants to support you and bring to you what you wish, but it does so based on the quality of your vibration or stance. If you ask for abundance but don't really expect it, the lower vibration will cancel out any attempt at positivity. Archangel Metatron asks you to put behind your old ways, family patterns, and previous thoughts and doubts, and concentrate on what you wish to sound out anew to the wider cosmos. Let your thoughts and words be loving, positive, and thankful, and great gifts and blessings can follow. The universe mirrors what you say to it and expect of it. Everything in the universe was created from light, and therefore this card links into the great light of the Creator. This light that is all around you wishes to be condensed into something positive and affirming now. The Creator said, "Let there be light," and the darkness faded. So too can you use your own light to dissolve what is heavy around you. Pay attention now to your throat chakra, linked to the dodecahedron, and the impeccability of the words that flow from it, and also to whether that which you hear is positive or destructive. Metatron will muffle out what is unimportant and people whose opinions are out of line with your own vibration, and draw to you instead new frequencies of sound, color, and light that can brighten your world, your perspective, and all you see. A bountiful universe has always existed. Talk to it now with a new voice and sounds to create something beautiful that serves you well. Long story short, The words you speak are so powerful, they are literally casting spells. That's why they call it spelling. You have such a unique, gifted voice. That is your expression, and you are being asked to use it. That is somehow related to that King of Wands energy. That is about using your voice, you expressing your truth to create the world around you, to be very mindful of the words you speak, of the narratives that you repeat, and to be very mindful of what you feed yourself energetically, what you listen to, the way you program yourself, basically. That's part of that reprogramming process. So don't undo all the hard work you do by speaking negative into your life. Whew, that one gave me chills. Got on a little bit of a pulpit there. Okay. And that is, in essence, the power of your voice. You have the power to project your truth out into the universe, and it has this ripple effect. People need to hear your truth because of the incredible shift that you've made in your life from who you were to who you are. And in turn, you're still shifting into who you're becoming. There's so much power in that. Don't disempower yourself. Don't disempower your life by the words you speak. Okay, inner child says, stop for a moment. Someone is calling and you have drowned out their cries for long enough. This is the voice of your inner child, often ignored and sometimes unknown, neglected, or pushed aside. Maybe you don't recognize their voice, or maybe it's familiar, but you haven't had time to fully listen to it. Your child lives within you, a presence that is like a hologram that is imprinted with its every experience, thought, belief, and desire from your childhood. All the times you laughed, all the times you cried, and everything in between. The times you sang freely, and the times you felt unheard. He or she sits within your heart. Is your door to them closed or open? Today, you're asked to open that door and allow your inner child to come forward at an age and time when they wish to reveal themselves to you. It is safe to do so. What age are you taken back to, and how do they look today? They may be the crawling infant looking for nurture, the expectant adolescent ready for adventure, the abandoned, fearful 5-year-old, or the exuberant, happy 9-year-old who loved life and embraced every moment. Metatron was with them then, just as he is here with you now. Maybe you sensed angels in childhood, but weren't allowed to fully embrace them. You may have misunderstood or been afraid of their light, but they were always there to help, not hinder, just as they are now. Allow Metatron to reveal the glory and beauty of his kingdom for your child to see with new eyes, the love that is now here for them. As your child comes forward, allow them to be wrapped in Metatron's rainbow wings, bringing healing, comfort, and support to whatever is needed right now. You are encouraged to meditate, speak aloud, or write down any feelings that arise from connecting to your inner child. What do they say? How do they feel? What do they need? Look into the kind, loving eyes of Archangel Metatron and see and feel how he understands everything, acknowledges all that you've been through, and offers a new beginning now for your child and you. You are a precious soul and a unique being, and you matter. As a child, you were put here on earth to laugh, play, learn, and explore. If this didn't happen, you can begin again. It may seem difficult at first to play or feel free, but you can do it. Tune in to what your child wants to do today. Bake a cake, go cycling, eat ice cream, get creative. They will tell you if you listen. Together you can heal from the past, learn to live happily in the present, and look forward to the next phase of life healed, whole, and intact. Adult and inner child together, reunited, happy, and belonging to each other. Finally free. That almost got me choked up with emotions there, because it is, I think, about integrating your inner child and healing them, becoming who you needed as a child. I think so often a lot of people were neglected. And so there's this huge abandonment wound, and it's learning to feel that for yourself and to connect with that inner child who was wounded and give them the love that they always deserved, but they never received. even if it's coming from your adult present self. Okay, because that card, when I looked at the cards as they came out, I saw that. And so I intentionally pulled from the Inner Child Oracle to see what message needed to come out. And I got, you can do hard things. It is not as impossible as it may feel. And you are worthy. You are worth it all, my love. Number 41 and number 40. Turned right to it. Perfect. There are many things in this life that we feel we cannot or should not have to do. It can be overwhelming to think about doing something that is hard, but in truth, many things we label as hard could be more appropriately labeled as simply time-consuming or long. Sometimes not wanting to do hard things can be reminiscent of mindsets we might have had in childhood when we never wanted to clean our room or do our homework. If you've pulled this card, then you might need to reassess what has been labeled as too hard. Before I read the self-care exercise, I want to interject. That's making me feel self-sabotage for whatever reason that word is coming up again. Not believing in yourself or believing something impossible could inadvertently be some kind of self-sabotage. The self-care exercises take time today to think upon the beliefs that might be holding you back. Are you putting yourself in a box by what you cannot or should not have to do? Sometimes choosing to push through the feelings of I do not want to do this because I do not feel like it can be quite beneficial. Note, always trust your intuition when choosing which hard activities to do, and do not attempt anything unsafe to yourself or others. The responsive journaling prompt is, how do you feel after you've done a hard thing? Are you proud of yourself? Remember to highly praise yourself after doing this hard thing because you deserve it. And that's the thing. You have literally been doing hard things your whole life. Again, the cards were stacked against you. Just becoming this version of who you are right now wasn't effectively the hardest thing of all. You already did the hard thing. So don't stop believing in yourself now. Like the Journey song is coming through. Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing now. You've done the hard things. That's why it's important to celebrate your accomplishments, to celebrate where you are, to not disempower who you are and all the things you've overcome in your life. Just because your struggles look different from other people, there's no need to disempower yourself. You are worthy. Everyone longs to, I want to interject. I had a clarity during a random TikTok live I was doing, which I think I've done it like 2 or 3 times, and that's it. So I had a random insight that at the moment you were created by the ultimate, the all, the source creator, at that very moment that you were created, that you began to exist, at that moment you were deemed worthy. At that moment you were deemed love, because you didn't have to petition the creator to exist. You didn't have to write an essay about all the reasons you were deserving of love, all the reasons you were worthy. You didn't have to fight to exist. You were created simply because you were deemed worthy and loved. Okay, you're worth it all, my love. Everyone longs to be worthy. We work hard to find this worth in many different places, in accomplishments, in titles, in the eyes of another, but at the end of the day, all we truly have is the worth that we attribute to ourselves. That is not to diminish the beautiful gifts that can be ours through our actions and relationships, but to say that if we do not find ourselves worthy first, we will continue to search for it elsewhere and never find satisfaction. This is very much about defining who you are, not letting other people define it for you. Defining your own worth, rewriting those narratives, those scripts that you're telling yourself, giving yourself new words. Again, a random TikTok I heard, she was talking about who we are is basically a collection of words that we have been given throughout our whole lives. And now it's our time to give ourselves new words, to redefine ourselves. The acceptance exercise is, for this exercise, journal your responses to the word worthy. What do you feel when you hear the word? Is there anything you feel you're not worthy of? What do you seek outside of yourself to make yourself feel worthy? Is there anything you feel like you are worthy of? Is there something that your inner child might need to hear about their worth? What are some of the statements you might have wished to hear as a child about your worth? Write down 5 to 10 key statements of your worth. These statements should touch your heart and fill you up with feelings of warmth and light when you speak them aloud. Now that you have these statements of worth, it's time to practice speaking the words to yourself. Using a mirror, if you can, look deep into your eyes, cup the side of your face, and proceed to give yourself what your heart is longing to hear. Practice speaking these statements of worth to yourself and to your inner child as many times as you can during the following weeks. The responsive journaling prompt is, how do you and your inner child feel after this exploration of self-worth? Is there a talisman or items that you can carry that will help you continue this practice throughout the following weeks? This is about dedicating time and energy and effort to yourself, finally recognizing that you're worth it, that you can do hard things. You've been doing hard things your whole life. You're worthy of a soulmate. You're worthy of a dream job. You're worthy of a dream life. You're worthy of a dream car, a dream house, a dream, whatever you want. You're worthy of it all. And you never had to earn that. This world taught you that you did, but they were wrong. Okay, from the Ascending Life Oracle, we got leadership, high influence in business, stepping into a leadership role. You know your value and self-worth, using logic over emotions. So this really is about knowing your value and stepping into that leadership role. You have something so important and necessary for the world. It's time to stop censoring yourself, to stop diminishing your abilities or your worth, and stop disempowering yourself. Clean up, sweeping away negative situations, cleaning up your life, decluttering your mind, and simplifying your life. There's definitely a need to clean up the energy around you. With that etheric body and then that Eight of Swords card, I felt like there's just some kind of naysayers that need to be swept away. Some kind of, you can't live in victim mode. You can't be around people constantly stuck in victim mode, because that starts to infiltrate your energy in negative ways. So cleaning up your life, decluttering your mind is part of simplifying your life. When your mind is cluttered, your environment tends to be cluttered as well. And sometimes when you don't know how to declutter your mind, simply organizing and decluttering your physical world, the world around you that you've manifested, will in essence help you to declutter your mind. And you may realize a few insights during that process. Business, work, entrepreneurship, career moves, working on your career success, and earning money through work. So there's a big part of whoever sees this video is about some kind of new job, business opportunity, a huge career move, making money moves is what I just heard in my head. But it's about knowing your worth and knowing, like, not letting imposter syndrome sabotage you. This is your dream life, your dream career. This is what you've been manifesting. And you absolutely deserve it, and you're absolutely capable of success. In the past, feeling nostalgic, mentally reliving the past, the return of a past lover, of past lovers, friends, the return of a past situation. So again, it's this feeling of something from the past is coming back around full circle. Something is coming back around. And now you have to use your discernment. If this thing from the past isn't in your best interest or highest good, that's one of the things that should be swept away. But if this is some kind of childhood dream, or, I don't know, the one that got away, the love of your life, like something coming back around. Interesting. I think it's going to differ a little bit for everyone. It's almost like recreating childhood memories. And I guess I said that because the the picture, and it's kind of like a beachy scene. And so it just makes me think of recreating childhood memories, or like creating them in your present self. And that is also linked to the inner child. So doing activities and things that your inner child wants to do. Again, some kind of link from the past. Okay. So messages from your future higher self. I got, let go of the idea that you're not ready. Bam. Bam. You're ready. You've done the work. This is what you've been healing for. This is what you've been manifesting. Don't soothe your pain with momentary pleasures. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage yourself. And the sacrifices you make today will be worth it. Absolutely. And that's part of not that, like sacrificing momentary pleasures, because you know in the long run, whatever this is working out in your favor. But it's so important to believe in yourself and to know that what you're healing for or manifesting or working on, it's going to make a difference. It's going to be worth it. Not losing sight of that. Remembering what you're doing this for, who you're doing this for. You're doing it for yourself, and you are worth it. Okay, we got practical self-care messages to end the reading, and we got 2 of them. Crystal healing. Use crystals to raise your vibration and renew your energy. So it is so important to not only have physical boundaries with people in your life, but to have energetic boundaries as well. Work on raising your vibration and renewing your energy. Refilling yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. So it's important to pour so fully into yourself that you have such an overflow. You give to people from that overflow, so you're never empty. You may have a unique connection to crystals, maybe even meditating with clear quartz or whatever other crystals you're drawn to can help you focus your energy. And it could also help you, like maybe crystal grids, or like in your manifestation practices, it could help you focus and direct the energy as well. And wake up early. Aim to wake up earlier in the morning to chase your dreams. This feels like to me that it's about carving out time for yourself. It's about carving out time for your spirituality. Taking time each morning to pour back into yourself, to invest back into yourself. As you drink your morning coffee or tea, whatever you drink, maybe do some journaling. Maybe listen to some spiritually uplifting music. Whatever it is, get yourself in the space of like celebrating and building yourself up, being your own best cheerleader, being very intentional about your day and about how you want it to go, what you want to experience, but also literally making time to chase your dreams. Wake up. You're worth it. And success can be yours. Don't sabotage yourself. I hope this reading helped you. I don't know how it resonated. Again, it's a collective reading. But I'm kind of excited for this next chapter of your life. I think there's parts of it that are scary, but it is about stepping out of your comfort zone, and that is very scary sometimes. But it's so beneficial. I love you, and I hope that helped.